Okay. All right. Looks like it's going. So let's see. So this is what this looks like. Take a look at it. Okay. I'm gonna kill it and do it over. So I'm gonna take this animator 1, click on it and delete it, and I'm going to take this position and bring it back down where it was. Right, so this is where I started. I got no keyframes, no animator, no nothing. All there is a word on the screen, right? And so to animate, to do a position type animator, where I started was I took this position, and actually before I did that, I added the animator. So I went animation, animate text, and I want to animate position. So what that does is it adds this animator number 1, and you see there's position there, and this position is the position of the letters on the layer, and this position is the layer. So if I move the layer like this, so that if I move the Y value of the layer, it takes the type up off the screen. So After Effects knows that this sheet of glass has pushed the word up here. Okay. If I take this position, this is the position of the letters on the layer, and if I move this and bring them back down, now After Effects sees that there's a difference between the layer and the type on the layer. These numbers have a difference that it understands. There's a from and a to, like a starting point and end point. So this range selector, and I didn't do this before, but I'll show you. If I take the start is this bracket that's at 0, right? So if I move this start bracket, what it does is it makes the P go, and then the O go, and the S go, and the I, and the T, and the I, O, N. So you could mess with the start bracket, and then the end bracket is here at 100. So if you mess with the end point, if you keyframe this, you could peel it off in reverse like that. In this case, the start and end will, what it does is it's basically saying what's inside the range. The range is like parentheses. So when start is at 0 and end is at 100, all the letters are in the range. And if you move the offset forward, it takes the range and it says go from, go forward through each letter in the range and move it from one value to the other. And if you go backwards, it does the opposite. It starts at the end and goes end to the beginning. And you can see the end bracket is moving towards the beginning like that. So you can keyframe either one of those. I'm using the offset because the other examples are going to be all offset based. So if I start at 0, turn on the offset here, and move to the end, and make another offset keyframe. And what I want to do is back here at the beginning, I'm going to make it go backwards to negative 100%. That way what happens is the P comes down first. P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N. If I didn't go negative 100%, if I went positive 100%, it would come down backwards. It would come down N first. Watch, it would go N-O, and that's neat, but like it's the opposite of how we spell. We don't spell with the last letter first, right? So if you do it negative, if you go negative first, it goes backwards. It goes P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N like that. Everybody got that one? If you follow me, if you follow me step by step, you can get it to work. The real trick is like to put it away and see if you can do it without me, because I would always screw it up. I would always be like, because I didn't really understand what I was doing. All right, so it's a good test to like do it once and then try it again. So this is a comp called position, right? One thing too about position, check it out, is position is an X value and a Y value, right? So it's like this way X, that way Y, right? Let's do another one. Let's make a new composition, new composition. Let's do this one called scale, S-C-A-L-E. I used to do it all caps, S-C-A-L-E. All right, so I got an empty thing called scale. Excuse me, it's nap time, Friday. And I got my type tool. Come over here and plant my type tool and make the word scale, S-C-A-L-E. Okay. And if I click on my layer and hit S for scale, scale is also X and Y, right? But they're linked. So when I scale it, X and Y both go big. If I break the link, I can scale just X or just Y, but they're still X, Y, scale X, scale Y like that, right? But they're percentage, so it's different, right? Like position is just X, Y, scale is X, Y %. So it's numerically distinctly different. So if I do this again where I go animation, animate text, and add a scale animator, right? This is even more confusing because look, it's right on top. There's scale and scale. So this one, let me think about this. What do I want to do? Actually, watch this. If I take the range selector scale and bring it down, look what it does. It scales each letter down or up individually, right? So if I take the range selector scale and take it down to 0, when I can do that by clicking on it, just hitting 0 and return. So what I've done is I've scaled it down to nothing, so it's like invisible. And if I open up the range selector and move the offset, look what happens. It grows the S, grows the C, the A, the L, the E. So if I keyframe this offset starting at what, 0, right? If I make offset keyframe at 0, move ahead in time to 1 second or 2 seconds, and then make this offset 100, what it will do is scale each letter individually. It'll go, S-C-A-L-E, like that. Okay. So it works a little differently than the position. It's still kind of operating the same way. It's saying go from, I set this scale to nothing, which is like invisible. Letters are so small you can't see them, to full size. So when you jack the offset, it says go from 0 to 100, moving through the range, one letter at a time. Take the S, scale it from 0 to 100. Take the C, scale it from 0 to 100, right? It goes through the thing. It's like a little micro programming, right? Like if you did it backwards, it would be, if you did a negative, it would say start at the end and go to the beginning. It's like very simple sort of order of operations programming, which is not, like most of the other stuff we're doing isn't very programmatic. It's just we're telling it to go from A to B. This is just like a different level. Nothing else in After Effects is like this. This is a peculiar thing. And you may never use it. But I wouldn't shy away from using it just because it's weird. Because sometimes this is exactly like, if you want to do something tricky with type, this is how to do it. So I didn't do it for a long time, and then when I dusted it off, I found I forgot how to do it, and I had to like relearn it again. It was just like, oh wait, how do I do that again? So that's scale. Anybody having trouble getting scale to go? Should I do it again? All right, let's do it again. I'm going to take this animator and kill it, just delete it. And so what I've got is just the word sitting here. I got no keyframes. I got no animators, just a word, right? Hey, whoops, what did I do? Here we go. It's just a word. So with the word selected, I'm going to go up to animation and say animate text and choose scale. So now I've got two scales. I got this one and this one. This one I'm going to leave alone. This is just the word is full size on the layer. This one, I'm going to say bring this down to 0. And you can see what it's doing is it's scaling each letter individually, which is different than if I scaled the whole word. Okay? So it's scaling each letter individually. And then in the range selector here, if I open that up and move the offset, what the offset does is it makes each letter scale up. It goes each letter from 0 to 100. So from the range selector to the transform. So if I start my offset at 0 seconds here at 0, offset 0 there, and move forward to 2 seconds and make my offset 100, when I scrub between them, it goes letter by letter. It goes scale the S, scale the C, scale the A, scale the L, and the E, like that. And if I play it, whoops, come back. S, C, A, L, E, like that. S, C, A, L, E. Right? Got that? So we got 2 out of what? 5. Position and scale. We got position and scale. Let's do another one. Composition, new composition. Let's do rotate. R-O-T-A-T-E. Okay. I've got an empty screen with rotate. I'm going to take my type tool, plant it here, and say, you guessed it, R-O-T-A-T-E. There's rotate. And look what rotate looks like if I hit R. Here's rotation. When I rotate it, it rotates from the anchor point. So if I want to spin the whole word, that's my deal. That's my jam. If I want to spin each letter individually, I need an animator. So I go up to animation, animate text, and choose, you guessed it, rotation. And you can see now I've got right on top of each other, I've got rotation and rotation. This one is for the layer. This one is for each letter individually. So if I move this, it rotates, it breaks into the layer and rotates each letter individually. So here's a fun one. This one, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to lay all the letters down. I'm going to go negative 90 degrees. If I go exactly negative 90 degrees, they're all laying down on their backs. Okay? So take your range selector rotation and go negative 90 degrees. And then, if I open up the range selector and I tweak the offset, you know, it does this. It goes start offset at 0. Turn on keyframing. And I'll move ahead 2 seconds. And I'm going to roll it forward so that when I play it, stop. You need your afternoon coffee, Dad. You have to take a nap. So that makes them all stand up. If I do the keyframes like that, if I do the keyframes on the offset starting at 0 and going to 100, they all jump up. They go from laying down to jumping up. See that? Ooh, 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 ooh. What I'm gonna do, watch this. If I reverse them, if I take these two keyframes, select them like this, pull the marquee around, select them, go up here to animation and say under keyframe assistant time reverse keyframes, it'll flip the keyframes, and what'll happen is it'll go from standing up to laying down, as if the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to have a period come over here and hit this and knock them down like bowling pins. Watch. So if I go like this, if I say, you know what, let's have some fun, and I'll make, actually a period won't work, I'm going to make a ball. I'm going to use this shape drawing tool and make a circle shape. Come over here and hold down shift so it makes a perfect circle. Alright. Shape layer 1 is a circle. Here, and I hit P for position. And what I want to do is, watch this. These offset keyframes right here, I'm just going to take them and move them a little bit forward in time so that the word just sits there for a little bit, sits there, and then when it hits these keyframes, it goes gong and starts falling down. And in this space between 0 and this keyframe, I'm going to make this ball knock it down. So I'll take this ball and put it right there at the keyframe where it hits and goes down. Okay, so right here at the moment where the E starts to fall over, I'm going to set a position keyframe on the ball right there, and then I'm going to go backwards to 0 and take this ball and take the X value and back it up off the screen like that. So what happens is the ball will come zooming in here, and right at the moment when the E falls down, it's going to hit it and knock it down like that, because that's funny.
How do you change the color of the ball?
If it's selected, click on it and select it. Up here there's a fill and stroke. Yeah, you might have created a mask. So you can't have a layer selected, so don't click off of the word rotate, and so nothing is selected, and then when you grab your shape drawing tool, it'll make a shape. When you click on it, you'll see fill and stroke, and you can choose colors.
Okay.
So let's see what this looks like in animation land. Oh crap, come back, rotate. Boom. Why am I not seeing it? Good. There it is. And if I wanted those fall down faster, I could just take the end keyframe and move it closer, so it'll happen quicker. So it goes bam. Whoosh. Right? So that's my rotate trick. Give you a minute to mess with that if you want. Or do you want me to do it again? Do the whole rotate? Yeah.
I get stuck on the sketch stuff because mine is not.
Hang on a second. Back to recording. All right, so let me just review this ball situation here, right? Because I think we got what's going on. So what I did here is I have this ball coming in and hitting and knocking the type down. right? So the type falling down is this rotate offset. Does anybody need me to do that again? The rotate offset?
I can use it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. So let's just completely start over. I'm going to take the shape layer and kill it. Goodbye. And take I got the word rotate, but I'm going to take the animator and get rid of it. So right now I just have a word sitting there. It's not doing anything. There's no keyframes at all. Come back to 0, and let's do this so it's tidy. I'm going to hit R for rotate, so all I see is rotate. And then I'm going to go up to animation and add rotation animator like that. So I've got these two rotations. This one's for the layer, and this one's for the letters, right? So if I take the rotations for the letters and move them backwards 90 degrees, they all lay down on their backs, right? And if I roll them right to 90 degrees, cool. If I can't hit 90 on a roll, I can click on it and type in -90, -90, return, and they're all laying down, right? Now, with me so far? So if I open up the range selector and look at the offset, when I move the offset, it moves each letter individually. So what I want to do is at 0 seconds, I'm going to turn on offset, and then go forward to like 2 seconds, and move the offset forward so that they'll stand up. So at 0, the offset's at 0, and at 2 seconds, the offset's at 100%. Is it? Yeah, 100%. So when I animate that, they all jump up. They start off laying down and they jump up. So what I did is I reversed that because I want them to lay down. So I'll go up here to animation and say keyframe assistant. Oh, I have to have things selected. Select both of these. Animation, keyframe assistant, time reverse keyframes, and what that does is it starts it standing up and knocks them all down with the E going down first. Okay? There's another, you could do that. I could have not done the reverse. I could have done it backwards, but I just thought it would be fun to do it this way. All right. So now if I want a ball to animate in here, come off the screen, hit this E, and when it hits the E, they all go falling down. What I need to do is take these keyframes and move them forward in time a little bit so that the word is just sitting there in this like second waiting for the ball to hit, and the ball's going to hit right. This keyframe right here is where the ball hits, so it hits and they start falling down. So I'm going to park right there on that keyframe where the ball hits, and I need to make a ball. So to make a ball, I got to click off of this to unselect it and get my shape drawing tool and come over here and just hold down shift and pull a circle so I have a ball. And see how it makes this shape layer 1, ellipse 1? There it is. And I'm still parked at that moment where the E is going to fall down. So I'll grab this ball and move it over here so it's just touching the E. And if I scrub through here, what I've got is this ball is just sitting there, and then at this moment, bam, everything starts falling down. So I know that this rotate here, I'm looking for this keyframe. I want to sit on that keyframe right there. And right there is where I want to make the ball, this shape layer. I want to take its position and set a keyframe right there. Because at that moment, I want the ball to be right there touching the E. And if I go back in time to 0, I can take this position and scrub the X value to get the ball to go off screen like this. So at this keyframe, it's off screen, and at this keyframe, it's at the E. So it's going to come zooming in, and at the moment when it hits the E is the same moment that they start falling. And if I want it to fall faster, these are kind of far apart. I could take these rotate offset keyframes and bring them closer together. I don't want to do that. I just need this one. Move this one closer, and it'll make it fall faster. So if I go like this, ball comes flying in, hits the E, and knocks everything down.
Could you do that, the part where it's just the keyframe that's like at the beginning? How do you
For the
do
ball?
that?
For
Yeah.
this ball? So you already have this one, right?
Yeah.
So just pull back to 0, right? And then take the X value of your ball and move it, or you could just grab the ball. You could come up here and just grab the ball, pull it off screen. And just moving the position of the ball, you're at a different place in time, so when you move the position, you're changing the position digits, and After Effects goes, you change the position, and it makes a new keyframe. So this is the starting point. It's off screen, so it's going off screen to on screen, A to B, like that. And actually, now that I think about it, what I ought to do is the ball should really keep moving, right? Like if I move here, I should take this ball and have it continue on its trajectory. So it goes like, that's actually better. So what I'm going to do is, see what that looks like. I need a sound effect right there, a bowling sound. Okay, that's fun with rotation. So what do we got? We got position, scale, rotation. There's one more I like to do. I need a reminder. Position, scale, rotation. Oh, opacity, of course. There's no sensible way to do anchor point really. So let's make a new new comp, and I'm gonna call this one opacity. My favorite city is opacity, and I'll take my type tool, click on here, and say, I don't know why it got real big. Go back to normal size. OPACITY. And for kicks, I'm going to change the font because I'm kind of sick of Helvetica. I want something big like Impact. There we go. Opacity. And I got no keyframes. It's just a word sitting there. And I'm going to click on the word one time, opacity, and hit T so that opacity is open. This is the opacity for the layer. Notice if I jack it, the whole word goes in and out. That's opacity for the layer. And what I want to do is I want each letter to do opacity individually. So I come up here to go to animation, say keyframe assist. Oh, I just don't like that. Animation, animate text, and choose, you guessed it, opacity. So now I've got two. I've got the range selector one and the layer one. So if I
my keyframe assist, it won't let me click on anything. So like so we're supposed to have opacity clicked on.
just have the layer selected.
Okay.
If you have the layer selected and go up to animation, you should be able to see it.
But all of them
They're all gray. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get rid of it and find out what's going on. So click on that, opacity. Go up to animation. Animate text is what you want, not keyframe assistant. Animate text, and choose opacity. So now I got two: the layer and the range selector. If I take the range selector, let me take this moment to call attention to something I didn't before. Remember how position was x, y, right? And the scale was x, y, but x, y percent. Rotation is 0x plus or minus degrees, right? So mathematically, they're all, the reason I'm going through all these is because they're all a little different. The offset works different, the values work different. With this, opacity is just percent, right? So this, if I bring down the percent, you'll see it looks the same as if this opacity makes the whole word go away, and this opacity makes the whole word go away. So it's kind of hard to tell what you're doing, right? Until, if you make this one 100 and this one 0, okay? When you keyframe the offset, what it does is it goes from start to finish, and it goes O-P-A-C-I-T-Y, like that. So if you keyframe the offset from 0 to 100, this should start to make sense now, right? What it's telling it to do is go from start to finish, letter by letter, and jack the opacity one letter at a time. So if I play this, preview. Cool. So if you've got all four, now watch this. If I say make a new composition and say call this composition all the things, okay? Make a composition called all the things, and it's empty. And in all the things, I'm going to take opacity and put it in there. And I'm going to take position and put it in there. I'm going to take rotate and put it in there, and take scale and put it in there. And then if I drag through my timeline, they might be kind of overlapping. So what I can do is move them around so that it's a little film that, whoops, so you might have to do this. Click on your layer. Where's position? Bring position. I want position right where it's at. I'll take opacity, put it down here. Does that work? So I got rotate, position, scale, opacity. And what you can do is, like maybe I want rotate, I want position to do its thing. Here, when position is done, then I want opacity to go next. And then when opacity is done, I want rotate to go. And when rotate is done, I want scale to go. Right? So here I made them sequential. So what I did is I just stepped them out. So first position happens, then when position is done, then opacity happens, then rotate happens, then scale happens. All right, so now I've got a little short film that's about 7 seconds long where position does its thing, then opacity does its thing, and then rotate does its thing, and then scale does its thing. So try that. Take all your comps and nest them, and then once they're nested, if they're all stacked, they're all going to happen at the same time. And so like if you submit this to me, I have to watch it 5 times because I can't make sense of it. It's too much happening all at once. But if you sequence it, I can sit there and watch it and be like, yep, you got position, yep, you got scale, yep, you got rotation, right? Like do them sequentially. And then it also reinforces this idea of like, this is how you sequence comps. Okay? So in doing this, you're demonstrating like 10 different things or more. Rotate, position, scale. And they don't have, you can put them in any order. Okay? So if you're stuck and have questions, let me know.